The nurse ties the band around your bicep, reaches for the syringe, and tells you to look away. But you don't. And the moment that tiny metal tip slides into your arm, the fluorescent lights suddenly seem to hum a little louder. A strange, heavy warmth crawls up the back of your neck. The room tilts 10 degrees to the left, your peripheral vision goes gray, and the ceiling slides away. The next thing you know, you're flat on the floor with someone asking if you're okay. This event represents a highly affected survival routine. Despite the confusion of waking up on the floor, your nervous system is following a specific, ancient set of instructions. That collapse is your body executing an optimized plan to keep you alive. The puzzle is figuring out why a biological system built for protection would choose to pull the plug and drop you to the ground. To see the physical threat, look at this animation of what happens during something as ordinary as standing up. Gravity is constantly pulling your blood down toward your feet. The second you rise from a chair, up to a liter of blood drains out of your chest and pools in the big, stretchy veins of your legs and belly. Now your heart, sitting up in the penthouse, has less blood returning to it, which means less blood to push up to your brain. To prevent you from folding over every time you stand, pressure sensors in your major arteries, called baroreceptors, detect this falling pressure and fire an instant warning to the brainstem. The brain barks orders right back. Your blood vessels squeeze tight, your heart rate speeds up to compensate, and your calf muscles act like secondary pumps, milking that pooled blood back upward with every slight shift in your weight. This silent battle is won billions of times a day without you ever noticing. When the system overshoots, it pivots from a silent save to a violent total shutdown. The crisis begins with a mechanical mismatch. Blood has pooled heavily in your lower half. Your heart is beating hard and fast to keep pressure up, but because so much liquid is trapped in your legs, the heart is pumping a tank that is nearly empty. Look at this cross-section. Stretch and pressure sensors inside the walls of that vigorously contracting, underfilled heart start screaming. The brain reads those frantic signals and comes to exactly the wrong conclusion. Through a pathway known as the Bezold-Jarisch reflex, the brain decides the heart is working too hard, failing to realize the body is actually low on return volume. The extreme countermeasure comes down the vagus nerve, the long wandering cable that controls your rest and digest system. The nerve floods with activity, forcing your heart rate to plunge. Simultaneously, the sympathetic nerves keeping your blood vessels tight let go, and those pipes swing wide open. A slow heart and open pipes drop your blood pressure to zero. It is the exact opposite of what your starving brain needs. Through its own deeply flawed logic, your protector has become the saboteur. This collapse unfolds in 3 distinct acts. In the first act, your body is still fighting rhythmically to keep the pressure up. You feel completely fine. In the second act, that rhythm frays. The physiological saves come slower, and the compensation grows ragged. Then comes the catastrophe phase. In a single instant, the heart rate drops, the nerve traffic holding your circulation together stops dead, and the pressure holding you up vanishes entirely. Before you actually fall, you usually get a 30 to 60-second warning called the prodrome. Your vision tunnels, your hearing muffles into a roar, and your legs turn to jelly. This is your brain realizing it is starving and frantically powering down non-essential systems like sight and posture to protect its core. Which leads to a brilliant biological twist. By shutting off your posture and making you collapse, your brain forces your body perfectly horizontal. The moment you are flat, gravity stops stealing your blood. Falling flat instantly neutralizes gravity. This horizontal position is the brain's forced solution to restore oxygen flow and end the crisis. If the physical trigger for all of this is gravity and pooling blood, why do perfectly healthy people drop at the mere sight of a needle where there is no actual blood loss? Unlike most fears that prep you to fight or flee, blood injection injury phobia produces a highly unique 2-stage response. First, the sight of the needle spikes your fear and your blood pressure climbs normally. But then, the system violently flips into a steep vasovagal crash, preparing you to play dead. Scientists suspect this is an evolutionary ghost. If you are deeply wounded, a sudden drop in blood pressure slows the bleeding, and falling flat keeps oxygen near the brain to buy you time. Or, in ancient conflicts, suddenly going limp might have spared you by short-circuiting an attacker's killing reflex. Look at this image of a guardsman passing out. Locked knees and heat cause the blood to pool until the reflex takes over. It easily overrides rigid discipline and modern medicine, because this modern weakness is likely the survival strategy that kept your ancestors alive. There is a critical medical boundary to draw here. Faints that happen upright, with a long, slow buildup of nausea and heat, are usually benign. But faints that strike with zero warning, especially while you're sitting or lying down in bed, or even during heavy exercise, are dangerous signals of heart rhythm or structural problems that require a clinician immediately. But if you feel that wave of warmth and tunnel vision creeping in, you have 30 seconds to fight back using a technique called counterpressure. As shown in this illustration, the moment the warning starts, cross your legs and clench the big muscles of your thighs and calves hard. Make tight fists, tense your arms, and bear down. By squeezing your lower body and upper limbs, you manually force that pooled blood back up to your chest. You are doing the mechanical pumping that your failing nervous system temporarily can't. Recognizing these creeping sensations allows you to intercept the process. By responding to your nervous system's warnings, you can manually stabilize your pressure and stay on your feet until the sensation passes.